What up, yeah? Welcome back to another episode of the Pretty Girl Progression Podcast. I am your girl, Sherelle. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you stay. And if you have been here before, girl, at this point, it's feeling like cousin reunion. Welcome back. And as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you are not familiar with the PGP podcast, we are a faith-based podcast all about personal growth and wellness for our melanated sisters. So sis, if that is you, pull up a seat, take your shoes off at the door, sit back, relax, and I really hope you enjoy this week's episode. So it's a new week. Praise the Lord. It's almost the first of the month, so you already know what that means. We're not going to get into that. Bills. Can you pay my bills? Anyways. So I'm in the studio. I am feeling great. I am rocking my Pooh Bear slippers, which I love so much. I feel so relaxed on my new green carpet. If you are listening on any of the audio streaming sites, run over to YouTube and check us out. But this past weekend, I did a lot of things actually. I got to go to Camilla's house. If you're not familiar, Camilla's house is a shelter in Miami, downtown Miami. And they help basically, you know, people who are dealing with drug addiction, any type of addiction, just getting themselves off the street, going through their rehabilitation program and helping them get housing. Camilla's house actually feeds people lunch and dinner, which is really dope. I had the pleasure of going with an organization called Royal Gems Mentoring Program. Shout out to Maggie and everyone there. They basically help young adults through the mentoring program and give back, and they do so many great things. So it made my heart feel so good to be able to just assist any way I could. I was cutting up with the guys who were at the shelter. They were talking about how the Dolphins are so sorry and they might as well wrap up the year. We're still going to keep the Dolphins lifted up in prayers, y'all. Okay. Jesus, Lord, help them. Oh, and what else has been happening? I had a crazy work day the other day, and that's really going to bring me into this week's topic, which is navigating the workplace with grace and God. Because, woo, let me just give y'all a short recap on what was going on in my job. If you're not familiar, I am a food and beverage supervisor at one of the Hilton branches. And I love it, to be honest. I've been in hospitality for the past 15 years. I started off working as a Hooters girl. I worked for American Express Membership Rewards, doing their customer service. I've worked at dive bars. I've worked at Billy's Pub 2 in North Miami. I've worked Clevelander Hotel on South Beach. I've literally worked at so many different jobs, but all hospitality. And for a long time, I used to be asking God, like, why do you have me here? Like, why am I always coming back to hospitality? And honestly, that's just where I shine. That's where, my heart, I feel like, is seen, that I'm really doing the Lord's work in regards to serving people. I know like liquor can be involved, drinks, people can get obnoxious, but when I'm in the building, I feel like it shifts the atmosphere and I'm doing the Lord's work. So this past weekend at work, we have a big conference that comes in multiple times a year. And I'm talking about a group of bodybuilders. They take over the hotel, okay? They're drinking, they're eating, they're spending, which your girl loves to spend. Sorry. Okay, Lord, no, I don't love to spend. I love when people spend on me. Let's make that clear, okay? But they love spending money, and right now we're down to bartenders. So obviously, I come from a bartending background, so I'm filling in as one of the bartenders until they can replace one, right? So I'm basically behind the bar. And there's only one other server on the floor, and this is a huge conference. We are sold out. I didn't have no manager. I It was just me and the server fighting for our lives from like 11 a.m. until I think I clocked out at like 7 p.m. And, we did a shift change and then, the next bartender came on and it just was a show, okay? By lack of better words. Like that's really what it was. It was a hot mess. So today, actually, as I film this, after I leave from filming, I got to go to work and we're going to have an emergency sit down meeting because it's important. So, if you have ever been a server and a bartender, you know that it could really stress you out. You go home, you want to vent to your partner, your cousin, your sister, whomever who will let you hear, okay? Vent on how the day went. And it just really sparked the thought of like, man, how to really navigate the workplace with grace and God. So, and if you know, the workplace can really test your patience, your peace, and sometimes even your purpose. Okay. You almost forget why you were there in the first place. So it really brings me into this scripture because I'm heavy on when you're going through something in life, what does the word say about it? So while I was going through all these different mood swings, basically from a hard work day, I ended up finding Colossians 3:23-24, which reads, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. And I couldn't agree more because when I think of that, I always say, and I have said to my boss before, I don't work for you. I work for God. That's why I'm able to work in excellence. That's why I'm able to do what I'm supposed to do even when no one's looking. That's why I show up the way I do. Because if I thought that I was working for you, I would have got fired a long time ago. And I would have really just not shown up and done what I needed to do for the job. I would have really just showed up for the paycheck. So, if you want to know how to navigate, how to maneuver the workplace with grace and God, I'm going to give you 3 keys that help me, and I hope that it helps you. First and foremost, remember that you are working for the Lord and not man. Go back to that Colossians verse because you will be tested. When you show up in a workplace, always work in excellence. Always put your best foot forward. For me, I work in a hotel. I always remember that, man, people are coming from all over the world, spending hundreds of dollars to stay at a hotel. They want to feel like they're treated properly. You want to make people feel like, man, they're a guest in your home. Now, there are rules to your home, but you don't never want people to feel bad and you want people to come back. You know what I mean? So I always operate in that manner. And I honestly do not care if anyone feels a type of way that I choose to serve in excellence. They got to take that up with God or whoever they talk to. Okay. Number 2, on how to navigate the workplace with grace and God. Learning how to manage coworkers without losing your peace. Because there are some people who are literally going to try to get a reaction out of you just to bother you, just to annoy you. And it's funny, at my job, I have these guests who are staying at the hotel who just gave me and gifted me a book by Mel Robbins called The Let Them Theory. And I absolutely adore this book. I haven't finished it yet, but the main theory about this book is let them. When someone is annoying you, trying to, get under your skin, you can only control what you can control. So everything else is very much let them. Let it go. Let it be. That's the best way to really protect your peace and keep it moving. And last but not least, because we could talk about this for days on how to navigate the workplace with grace and God, leave work at work, okay? Because home should be your sanctuary. Now, if you're anything like me, yes, I have clocked out and called my man or called my cousin, called my sister and vented for like 30 minutes straight. But the truth is, by the time you get home, your home really is your sanctuary. That is your peaceful place. That is your sweet spot. That's somewhere that nothing should really bother you. For me, I just put on my door, my war room. The only time I'm gonna bring it up is when I take it to that war room, to that closet, okay, to really talk to the Lord about it. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. When I talk to my daddy God about you, he gonna handle you how he sees fit. Okay. That's not a threat. It's just a promise. It's just the truth, Shannon. Okay. That's an inside joke. But that's the best way you can navigate the workplace. So, just so we can recap, y'all, remember these three things because we know the workplace will test us. Work for the Lord and not man. Show up, operate in excellence, and let what you do, your presence, do the talking. Number two, learn how to manage your co-workers without losing your peace because they will stress you out. And last but not least, don't bring work home, okay? Your home is your sanctuary. I really hope y'all enjoy this episode and take heed to what I'm saying and also add to the conversation because I know if you're anything like me, the girls could use the advice and the help. And I just posted something also before I go. I just posted about, God will release you from the shackles of the 9 to 5. I'm heavy on he will release me, okay? Because he has me obviously working on the things that he needs me to do for his mission, for his goal. I'm just the vessel. So I know that the 9 to 5 while I'm there is just a stepping stone to teach me certain lessons that I need to learn, whether it be the patience, whether it be how to organize, how it is to be a leader in a field with, a lot of different people. Whatever it is, I take the value from that and I just do my best to implement it in my everyday life. So I hope you ladies enjoyed this episode. If you are ever looking for any tools and resources, don't forget we do have a 30-day daily devotional that you could pick up at www.prettygirlprogression.com. We also have the journals that you can write in. I definitely use mine all the time. And remember, if this week's episode spoke to you, make sure you share it with the woman who is progressing, trying to balance the workplace and her walk all at the same time. And until next time, Queen, love yourself. Bye.